And we are back for the second video of the day. If you have watched both videos today, thank you very much for supporting the channel. Cheeky reminder for you to drop a like on the video if you have done so as well. If you are new around here, please do consider subscribing as well. What we do with this series is we try and build the best possible team for the upcoming fantasy football game week, and then I challenge you to build a team that is better than mine. It's a tough one this week because there are so many teams missing because of the FA Cup fixtures, and to be honest, my advice for this week is for you guys to do your free hit. I did say a couple of weeks ago that there was an opportunity to do it then, but I am saying the best time to do your free hit this season is now. I know that there is another set of FA Cup fixtures when the semi-finals come around in the end of April, but I just think with the amount of big name teams missing, the likes of Man United, Man City, Liverpool, Brighton, the way they've played this season, a lot of people are going to have a lot of players from those four teams. So I think this is the right time to do the free hit, even though the same situation could arise in a few weeks' time. I just think now is the best time to do it. But before we touch on what I think the team you should be building is, we have to wrap up what happened in last week's fantasy football, as well as seeing who was able to beat me. Let's just get straight into it. Now, sadly, I was only able to score 76 last week. Normally 76 would be a very good score, but it was only good enough for 3 million overall. And basically that's because I backed Manchester United and Liverpool in a week where neither team scored for their respective reasons. Obviously Salah missed a penalty. Manchester United had a man sent off, meaning that Weghorst was substituted in the first half. That was a gamble in and of itself. But even outside of that, I was disappointed that Danny Ings wasn't able to get the points that I thought he would. It turned out I picked the wrong England striker with Harry Kane doing the damage. Apart from that, though, I thought the rest of the team has obviously done pretty well. It had to in order for me to get 76. The goalkeeper and the defence did very well. Pedro Porro did pick up an assist, which I was quite pleased with for him on the bench. And of course, if I'd have just gone for the entire Brighton midfield, we'd have been scoring an absolute hatful of points. But Matoma getting 12 was very useful for us. And of course, Ivan Toney's 13, captaining up to 26, meaning that we did get 76, which, like I said, it isn't the worst score. But given the overall context of the game week, it wasn't the best score either. And that, of course, means that we have had a whole host of winners to the challenge this week, and we'll show them to you right now. So congratulations to everyone on the screen right now. Gary Burnett with the 132 points, the absolute winner this weekend. He was only, I think it was 15 points off getting the highest score in the entire fantasy football last week. So a fantastic score from him. He did use his bench boost though, so as well within his rights to use the chips. As we have said before, I am not going to criticise anyone who wins via using chips. But a big congratulations to David Linton and Jason D'Souza, who both scored 105 without the use of any chips whatsoever. So well done to both of them, and of course another congratulations to Gary Burnett, and a well done to every single person that has made it into the winner's circle this week, including myself with my main team. Let's see what those scores have done to the Esso 99 league table. And as you can see, unfortunately, James Morris has extended his lead once again. The score's now well over 100 points clear, and with just 11 game weeks to go, it looks like he is going to be uncapturable. The race for the top four, shall we call it, the Champions League places, is very much hotting up though. As you can see, there is not even 100 points between second and 20th right now. So a lot to play for in the rest of the division. I wish there were some prizes available, but there are not. But it is good to see that there is some good competition in the league. My own personal team now sits in 14th as I claw my way back up the table and try and make my fight for second, because I don't think first is realistic for me now. But I'm pleased with my performances so far. 93 points for me last week in the main team. But those are the league table. And once again, congratulations to any of you that are currently in the top 20. Let's now finally look ahead to my team for this upcoming game week. And we will start with the defence and the goalkeepers like we always do. And I'm going to start with 2 Arsenal players. Now, when I say I'm recording this immediately after I've done my predictions video, I quite literally mean my predictions video is still being uploaded as I currently talk. So for me, Patrick Vieira's sacking has only happened about 20 minutes ago. So this team had already been pre-built. Do I think that Crystal Palace are now more likely to score a goal with Patrick Vieira not in charge? I'll say potentially, but not really. So I'm not going to change the team any more than I have. I really think Arsenal are probably the most likely team to get a clean sheet this week, which is why I've doubled down on them with Ramsdale and Ben White. My backup goalkeeper, I've gone for Fraser Forster. Very, very cheap for Spurs, and I don't really see Southampton scoring against Tottenham, which is why he is there. Rounding off the defence, I've gone for Ben Chilwell and Alex Moreno, two marauding left-backs who are more than capable of getting assists and even goals if you're Ben Chilwell last week. They're up against Everton and Bournemouth. I think there's a good chance that both of them get clean sheets. Maybe not so much Alex Moreno, but like I said, he's looking very good for assists, which is why I have gone for him. Into the midfield, and this was probably the hardest part of the team to build this week. I think I could have gone for about 6 or 7 different forwards, but there's not many midfielders. So I'll start with Almiron, someone that a lot of fantasy football managers have given up hope on over the last few weeks, but well, including Eddie Howe, the actual Newcastle manager. But Almiron took his chance when he came on off the bench, and I think he will then start the game tonight because of that. And if he plays like he did off the bench last time out, he's probably more than likely to get a goal, which is why I've gone for him. Next to him, I've gone for Martin Odegaard. As always, you could just pick any of the Arsenal players, Saka, or Odegaard, Martinelli. I have, of course, doubled down Trossard as well after his 3 assists. Like I said, I've doubled down on the defence, and the reason I've gone for Odegaard is because of Arsenal's defeat in the Europa League last night. Odegaard is the captain. He is by far the most on-field leader, and I think he'll be the one that will lift them in the Crystal Palace game this weekend, and I think he will be the reason why Arsenal get the win, and that is why he is in my fantasy football team this week. I was tempted to go for Gabriel Jesus, however, I'm not convinced he's going to start the game at the weekend. I think they're trying to ease him back into the team. So I'm not sure Gabriel Jesus would start. And like I said, I could have gone for so many attackers this week. So Odegaard, for me, is the safer bet. My first real sort of gamble this week is I've gone for Mykhailo Mudryk. He looked really good last time out for Chelsea, and I think he's going to get some more game time. It is a huge risk, though, because they have so many attacking players. You just don't really know which ones are going to play. But I'm going to give Mudryk a chance this week, and if you're feeling confident like I am, with Chelsea's upcoming fixtures, I think Mudryk could start becoming a more permanent fixture in the team, in which case he will start picking up points. Now, I will do the next 2 players together, and that is Heung-min Son and my captain for this week, which is Harry Kane. Their record against Southampton is absolutely fantastic. They seem to have their link-ups working once again in their last couple of games. So really interested to see how they perform in this one. Like I say, I've gone for both of them purely because of how well they have played together against Southampton in the past. And we've gone for Harry Kane as captain just because he's having a very, very good season. 2 goals in his last game. He takes penalties, of course, as well. So I think he is just the easiest option to pick as captain for this week. The other players that we have gone for up front. Firstly, I've gone for Kai Havertz. 2 goals in his last 2 games for Chelsea. A bit risky, I know, going for Mudryk and Havertz, but I just don't see Everton really causing Chelsea any problems, and I see Chelsea causing Everton an awful lot of problems the way that they have played recently, and Havertz has been the main man in the last couple of games. Rounding off the attack, we have gone for the man on form right now, which is Ollie Watkins. 6 goals in his last 7 games. In my opinion, very unlucky to miss out on the England squad, and at home to Bournemouth, you would back him to continue his run of good goal-scoring form. As for the bench, I've included Kieran Trippier once again. A lot of you have him anyway, but I think Newcastle have a very good shout of a clean sheet against Nottingham Forest, hence why Trippier is in once again. The final 2 players is more of a debate for you guys because I'm very interested to see what happens in this one. I think Wolves are more than capable of getting a clean sheet against Leeds, which is why I've gone for Nelson Semedo because he is the attacking right back and is capable of contributing at the other end as well. However, on the flip side, I have included Rodrigo because he is Leeds' best goal-scoring threat. He was one of the best players to have in the fantasy football at the start of this season, and he is now back and fit again, and I'll be expecting him to lead the line against Wolves. So I think this is a scenario where one of these 2 will get a lot of points this weekend. And I'm not backing either in the starting lineup. I'm just sort of giving them to you there as suggestions for this week if you fancy it. So that is my team for this week. There are obviously a load of other players I could have picked. The likes of Ivan Toney is an obvious one. But we like to be a little bit rogue and a little bit different on this series. Try and give you some different options for you to pick. All that is left to say is, as always, if you think that your team is capable of beating my best of Game Week 28 team, please let me know by joining the Esso99 League with the league code still on your screen now. And as always, winning managers will be shouted out in next week's video, as you saw all the teams shouted out in this week's video. Thank you very much for watching once again. The next time you will see me will be tomorrow morning with the FA Cup predictions video. Thank you very much for watching once again.